This episode of Budget MTG Decks is sponsored by Card Market. Play hard, trade smart. Welcome to Budget MTG Decks. All the cards you see in our videos are $1 or less, with exception of the Commander cards. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when a new video comes out. Hi, so glad to have you here for another episode of 5 must-have Magic cards you won't believe are under $1. I'm David, and today we're going to be looking at these sweet cards that are under $1, which means they're affordable and they're also effective and powerful. But then the question is, why have they recently dropped to below $1 if before they were more expensive? That's either because they've been reprinted recently or because they've rotated out of standard. Okay, so let's have a look at the first card. 8.5 Tails costs 2 white mana and gives us a 2/2 legendary Fox Cleric. Now, 8.5 Tails has 2 abilities. One, for 2 mana, it can make a target permanent we control gain protection from white until the end of turn. And for 1 mana, we can make target spell or permanent become white until end of turn. So what is protection? Protection is debt. D-E-B-T. It means that the permanent cannot be destroyed, enchanted, blocked, or targeted by things it's protected from. So what does this mean? For 3 mana, we can have instant speed protection against targeted removal. We can supercharge our creatures so they can't be blocked and can't die while blocking. We can also knock off auras from our opponent's creatures, and unlike Mother of Runes, we can use it multiple times a turn as long as we have enough mana. It also plays really nicely with Avacyn Guardian Angel. Up next is Runic Armasaur. For 1 and 2 green, we get a 2/5 dinosaur, and it states that whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you may draw a card. Now, it bears clarifying that a mana ability is any ability which produces mana, like Llanowar Elves, for example, but not an ability which costs mana. That is not a mana ability. Okay, so printed for the first time in Core Set 2019, this card has recently dropped to below $1. Green card draw is usually based on either the damage you do or the number of creatures you have, so this is kind of unusual, but very welcome. Not only does it provide draw, but it also makes your opponents think twice before getting increment advantage by activating abilities. Finally, it may seem innocuous, but all this comes on a 2/5 body for only 3 mana, which is actually an amazing amount of toughness for the cost. Next card is Knight of Souls Betrayal. For 2 and 2 black, we get a legendary enchantment that states that all creatures get -1/-1. Now this includes your creatures, but it is such a great way to stop your opponents from playing weenie tribal decks like elves or goblins. And if tokens are a problem, this card really enjoys the company of illness in the ranks, making token strategies pretty much useless. Tyrant's Familiar costs a whopping 5 and 2 red, but for 7 mana we get a 5/5 flying dragon with haste, and as long as we control our commander, this thing is going to actually be a 7/7 that also deals 7 damage to target creature defending player controls when it attacks. This card has been reprinted about 3 times, and due to the last reprinting, it has recently dropped to below $1. It is a joyous day, as this thing does terrible damage in red commander decks. This card fulfills dual role of both targeted removal and a huge evasion creature at the same time. Of course, you do need to control your commander, but when you do, and this thing comes in, people will feel it. And the last card is Tidespout Tyrant. For 5 and 3 blue, so for 8 mana, we get a 5/5 flying Djinn that states that whenever you cast a spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. Now, originally from Dissension, this card has finally dropped to below $1 with its reprinting in Battle Bond, and oh, we are so grateful. This creature gives blue decks the ability to bounce anything, even lands, meaning there's nothing they can't deal with, which gets a little bit crazy when this creature is supported with inexpensive cantrips like Brainstorm or Opt. Remember that this is a cast trigger, so when you copy spells, it will not trigger. Well, those are 5 must-have Magic cards you won't believe are under $1. Now, if you want to help out the channel and you want to pick up these cards, consider using the link in the description below. Also, if you want to get in touch with us, join us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Budget MTG Decks and get in touch with us there. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'm David. This was Budget MTG Decks. Find all the cards discussed in this video in the description below. Also, show you're a fan of the channel by rocking this awesome Budget MTG Decks merchandise. This show was made possible by the support of our loyal patrons. Head on over to patreon.com/budgetmtgdecks and donate as little as $1 per month.